Welcome back to Omega Level. I'm Skinny Nick. This is Fat Josh.
Woo! Fat Boy Josh coming at you. White Boy Bobby.
White Boy Bobby. Ooh, referencing our biggest episode.
Of course. The night comes first. Check that out in the links below.
Make sure you hit it up. Be one of the 1,000 that watches it.
Hey, it's what we do.
Gotcha.
But enough of that.
So, Game of Thrones, Episode 3.
Yowzas.
Winter has come.
Battle of
Winter isn't
Winterfell.
coming. Winter's here.
Oh, it's here.
It's made it.
It's here.
Yeah.
It made it to the north.
It done be happening.
It done be happening.
Mm-hmm. And thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in. That was our spoiler-free
the whole,
review.
spoiler-free review. That's the whole episode.
Omega level. Omega level.
Massive spoilers from here until the end.
Yes.
That's what we do. Like we could easily make spoiler-free like reviews or discussions about things, but it's more fun, I think, to be able to talk about everything and not have to hold back on stuff.
Absolutely.
You know? So that's what we're telling now. Spoilers.
Because we can only tell you like our feelings for certain things instead of explaining why we didn't like this and why we like that.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, spoilers all the way.
Yeah. So, my God, this was a big episode. Epic.
Well, without doubt, and it's the record for the biggest movie, our biggest battle ever filmed. Yep.
Is it record period?
Yep. TV and film.
Dang. So
yes,
the
beats the Lord of the Rings, Helm's Deep, or whatever that.
Right. Yeah.
We don't talk about that trash movie though.
So the longest battle ever put to like film or whatever. That's nuts. Yeah, we don't talk about those trash movies. That's nuts, dude.
I know the rules here.
On Game of Thrones.
That's
crazy, dude. That's
Game
crazy.
of Thrones. Obviously, this was still a grand, like you said, the scope of this was
huge.
unreal. And I need to go back and watch, and I don't know if I do. I know it's crazy to say because they gave us Dragon Battle. Totally wanted that. Totally awesome.
That was worth the wait.
Yes.
That was awesome.
You see an entire army, the biggest army that Westeros and any of
it's probably ever formed.
Has ever formed ever, with dragons at its helm. Being reduced to
to nothing.
To just dragons. 2 dragons.
Being reduced to well, at least we got some dragons.
At least we got some dragons. With that said, though, what I was going into is I don't know if this was better than the Battle of the Bastards fight.
I think I like the Battle of the Bastards better.
I believe that was a very well choreographed. That was a strong. That's your favorite episode?
I think so. It's definitely my favorite battle scene they've had.
It's good. And with that said, too, I don't know if this would
even though they unceremoniously kill the hero. Ramses, it's still like
I agree.
Battle of the Bastards is good.
He is the White Knight. I agree. He is the savior of the universe.
He was supposed to be Azraha. It's unfair.
With that said, nothing against this episode, and I don't want to. I like to go back through a couple episodes and rewatch. And at TV, we need to watch this one.
Oh, for sure.
Nothing against their boy Steve, but that TV was too dark. And I've seen actually a lot of people complain about that. So I think that was just overall was just very dark.
My cousin,
scenes. Yeah.
I talked to him before we did this, and he was talking about that too. He was like, "Man, I've seen a lot of people complaining, like bitching online that he's like, well, this episode would have been better if I could have seen what was going on." But he brought up a good point. He's like, "Well, I thought when I was watching it, like it just gave me the sense of like this. It's supposed to be this way. It's intentional, like."
The fear of the unknown.
Yes, the fear of the unknown. No one in the episode knows what the hell is going on. They can't see what's happening. People are just dying, and they're trying to put the viewer in that situation too, just to make you feel like unease and tension.
You feel closeted.
You know?
You're like, oh my God, what's happening? Because you see those flames just
dude,
dissipate.
that was an amazing shot.
Oh, absolutely.
Just going out.
Absolutely.
Just make the Dothraki right off, and they're just later.
While everyone was worthless, they were definitely the most.
Yeah, because they literally
sent them out to darkness
instantly.
And that's what I was saying. I said it real quick when we were watching the episode. How you can see the bodies, like as soon as they collapse, you just see zombie on zombie. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like
they're just
a wall of dead people.
They literally just ran into a wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and it's things that don't feel pain, that don't tire. They just keep going until. I mean, you can kill them, but then they'll be resurrected again.
Yeah,
so it's like
they just come right back.
The Night King showed that even if you kill them with the dragon glass,
he can bring them right back.
They bring them right back.
Kill them again.
And I'm so happy that they showed how inevitable it was that the Night King was going to do what he did.
Right. Oh, I loved it.
Decimated everything. There was no shadow of a doubt in his mind that he
won.
And that's what was his downfall, arrogance.
Yeah, true that.
But also you can't see what happened. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think
the final blow come on.
And like any of the realities that happen of any way this could have turned out, a little girl being the many-faced god disguising herself as a dead and then running up behind him and attacking him, probably nothing he ever saw coming. Speaking of that, just to move forward to the end for one quick second, Arya is easily the most badass person in this realm.
Without a question.
There is Jon who?
And also, you got to think, people will value this differently, but you got to think of how big this night was for her. She lost her virginity, and then that same night killed the Night King.
And then saved the realm.
Is there a better night in his... Like, what?
Speaking of that, like, man, Gendry got shit on.
Yep. I didn't even see him.
His sex,
no,
his sex will never live up. It's like she had sex, but then she saved the universe. It's like,
well, at least the
sex is cool, I guess. But I killed the Night King. I don't know if you done heard.
I don't want to break your heart, Kendrick. You were great, but I got to move on.
But I killed the Night King.
And it was also a move that was. I doubt they foreshadowed it, like they knew they were going to kill the Night King with this blow. But it was a thing she used before, something she was taught. You know what I mean? It's a move. It's the same thing. And when she said it to, gave Sansa that blade, said, "What do I do with it?" She said what John said when she handed him the needle.
Him with the pointy end. Yeah.
Stick him with the pointy end.
That was awesome. Oh, man, I was
people trying to call out Grey Worm too for being a coward. That was the strategic move.
He wasn't being a coward. He was commanding he was overseeing.
But he was telling everyone stand your guard, and then he backed up. And I've seen people crap on that, but it's like, well, he was the one supposed to.
Someone has to tell them what to do. He's the leader,
and he's the one that pulls the
thing down to light the fires,
to collapse, and cause the trench to open up.
Yeah.
So no, he's not a coward. He did his thing,
and I don't think he was being cowardice. He was terrified in that moment, and I got the feeling that part of his fear was apprehension of not being on the front lines. He's like literally leaving his people there. He's like, I don't want to be the one doing this. I don't want to be the one doing this.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely. The one that scared the shitless is the Hound,
bro.
Dude, he was
straight got pumped out for a minute,
and I can't remember who was talking to him.
It was the guy that keeps getting resurrected all the time.
Barrick was the one that talked to him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he was like, "Tell her that," and Arya's up top on the fucking.
That was dope.
Dude, that was awesome. That was dope.
He's like, "We stand no chance. They're dead. We can't win."
People with that spear, man. Woo!
I love the way they did this whole battle with that. Like, in the end, all they were doing was just delaying their own demise.
That's all
they made it very apparent that there was no stopping the Night King, or stopping his army. Like, they were not winning. Their only chance was to kill him because they were not defeating the dead. It wasn't happening.
And it didn't ruin anything, but it was something I wanted for at least the Night King to say one line.
I did too. I wanted to hear him speak.
Like, he's like, "This is where history ends." Boom. And then that'd have been awesome. It didn't take anything away, but man, I really wanted to hear what he sounded like. I really wanted to see that.
I didn't expect Arya in that moment at the end.
No.
When everyone was leading up. So as soon as Daenerys fell off the dragon and she was surrounded by the dead, and then she fell, and then Jon ran away and the dead resurrected and started coming after her, I knew in that moment the Night King was dying this episode.
I was so mad.
I knew in that moment.
When the resurrection happened?
No,
really?
When Dany was surrounded, I knew in that moment the Night King dies this episode.
Why is that?
Because Dany's not dying, and there's no way out of that situation. She's not a warrior.
Dany could have died, but until they showed Jorah, the freaking... as soon as they showed him, I was like, oh, damn it.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're not killing Dany in the third episode. It's not happening. She's making it to the last one.
They didn't kill anyone huge in this episode, and that's a big knock from it.
The only person they killed that's been around since the beginning is Theon and Jorah, but I mean,
and
they're like
they had
side names.
But they had great send-offs. Theon got redemption. I know you don't care for the character.
I hate Theon.
I mean,
he's trash. He's unredeemable to me.
He's been through so much.
He went too far.
He has arguably the worst storyline in this whole show, dude.
Him and Sansa are pretty close.
He has been through arguably worse.
As far as like what's happened to him, like he's been tortured and maimed the entire series, dude.
Yeah. He was,
and mentally too. Yeah, Ramsay made him
down to
I'm weak. Yeah. He literally broke him.
Yes,
as a person.
Literally broke him. Like,
awful. It was great.
It's hard to because he's betrayed and
it was great to see because he did
redeemed himself with his sister. Got punched in the face. Well deserved.
When you poop on the Starks, that's what happens. Ramsay's coming for you.
Pooping on him, but I was mad that they showed Jorah like that. Oh. Getting not off topic because Game of Thrones. It was brought up to me, and something that I was concerned about is why Arya wasn't showed, like, they didn't give a scene why she was just there, like, oh, Arya's just at that area. Someone pointed out a couple things. My uncle actually said something about it. Like, when you notice that the whites, all the undead are moving, they're usually got blue eyes and they're controlled by the Night King or the White Walkers. So that means that they're getting moved by those.
By them.
And when they're not focused on them, they're just still. Like, they're almost like they're nothing. They're just husk. So everyone was focused on that point. And they actually had, I don't remember the scene, I actually remember it now and went back and looked at it. I was like, oh, yeah, he did. There was a White Walker that actually turned and looked. Around.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Arya came up. So
because Arya had to be among that crowd disguised as a walker.
That's the only thing. I wish they would have showed her as
shown like her run and it turned into her.
Yes.
I would have liked that too.
Yes.
But yeah, that's also my cousin were talking about this too. That's how the Night King even knew. Like, because you can't hear it happening. But since they're all linked through him, even the Whites are, when the White sees something odd and looks, that is when the Night King's like, what? And he turns around and catches Arya. Because he knows what's coming.
As soon as it boom, and I was like, man, for a second, are they killing Arya?
They had me for a second. I thought they were killing her.
I was like, whoa, that's
I thought they were killing her when all the
dead
were piling on her too. When she was trying to get away, I thought they were going to kill her then too.
Still wanted Bran to bust out some crazy ass superpowers though.
Oh yeah, so I was going to say it was like, so what I was expecting as this whole buildup is happening, and I looked at my phone, I was like, there's like 3 minutes left. Like, oh my God. And the Night King is walking towards Bran. I was expecting a conversation. I was expecting him to show up and just each of them have like one line. The Night King to say something like you thought like history ends here, and Bran to say something like allude to something like him being dumb, like of
I'm your father.
Shut up.
Well, what a reveal!
Like I expected the Night King to be like history is over, winter is here or some shit. And Bran would be like, I can't believe you came. And then, like, Bran somehow, like, telepathically kill him or warg into him and kill himself or something.
He just explodes on impact.
I was expecting Bran to do something nuts in that moment, like stand up or like something crazy. But no, they went with, like, the even better route of Arya showed up and killed him.
Totally fine with Arya getting the blow.
She should have been the one.
Awesome. She's top 5 for me.
If it's not her, it was Jon. There was no one else I wanted.
I really wanted her. I really wanted Jon and the Night King to have a
I wanted them to have that sword fight,
and then
man.
solidify himself as the best swordsman.
They teased us with a sword fight and it didn't happen.
Arya is the best swordsman in the lands.
I don't know about swordsman. She's definitely the most.
Well, she doesn't use a sword, but she's the best warrior.
She's the most fierce warrior for sure, dude. For sure. I love that they had Jon accepting death too. With the ice
100%.
dragon, he stood up and just screamed like, "This is it."
Well, that was the key. You needed to scream at the
to kill him.
It's the only way. This is how it works.
They should have had Jon Murray like, "Just scream at him. I killed it. Just scream at him." Arya's like, "What you talking about, little big bro?"
And it was sad to see the main dragon as well get covered in zombies.
Dude, I thought Drogon was dead.
Yep.
I'm glad he didn't. That was a really sad moment too when Jorah's dying, all the dead of Arya's killed everybody, and Jorah's laying there dying in Daenerys' arms. He gave his life to protect hers. And then Drogon comes and lands and tries to like shadow over and like comfort its mother because Daenerys is upset.
Do you remember the scene that I even said out loud? It was like, and I liked how it looked too, even though it could be viewed as cheesy. The red scenes where they showed all 3 people, like they're like red shot. Like in a corner, someone fighting. It was Brienne.
Yeah, that was awesome. Brienne,
was
Jaime.
Jorah in that? It was Jaime,
Brienne, Jaime, and
Grey Worm.
Was it? Yeah, I think it was Grey Worm.
See, that was a moment where they're like showing like who's gonna die, and I
that's
really
what I
wish
thought
they
they
would
were
have
showing
taken
too.
one of those people. That would have been awesome. Like, oh man, here it goes. So kill count real quick. We got Sam with 5. We have
How many he's killed?
We have Jaime with about 100 or so. Brienne 150, Arya 100 plus 1,000.
Yeah, Arya with everybody else.
Everybody that plus whatever they didn't have.
I think Arya gets like multiple times counting because they've all been resurrected a bunch, but she like put finality to it.
Yes, exactly.
So
she
killed like millions.
she killed at least like 20 plus in the first little bout, those little fights, and then she killed the Night King, which killed everything.
Else. Yeah,
you see his little face too.
Her scene when she was in the little dining area and the walkers were trying to find her.
Anxiety.
Oh, dude, that was a great scene. It was a great scene. The only thing I didn't like was they did the typical
book thing,
stupid cliche movie thing where she's underneath the table and one's right there and it looks and she's gone and now she's behind a bookcase again. It's like, really?
But it's the greatest assassin of all time.
It's Arya. I get it.
It's the greatest assassin of all Westeros.
True.
That was proven in
She
this
definitely
episode.
She definitely is.
Yeah, it's proven.
Then put that bibbity bap to bed because it's Arya.
Bibbity bap down.
So now my question is, who does she know that she herself has killed that she can look like that Cersei knows?
Right now,
it would have been perfect if Jaime died in this episode.
Yeah,
and if she could show up as Jaime and kill Cersei. I think this episode for me is pretty much
like Euron.
Well, true. This episode has put finality to it to me that it's going to be Jaime that kills Cersei. He serves no purpose anymore.
You think so?
He came in, he had his penance, he had his redemption, he made up with Brienne, made up with the Starks, and he didn't die in this big battle. He has no other purpose to serve other than to kill Cersei or to like distract her while she's being killed.
Yep.
He's gonna be a man.
Really hope that it's
Tyrion?
Arya. No,
I hope it's Arya or Sansa, but Sansa's not.
What
like
if
the killing
Tyrion
type.
kills her with the crossbow?
Dude, that would be dope. like father, like daughter.
But if Jaime were to die, like you said, I would wanted Arya to wear his face
and kill her.
Boom. Yeah,
that's like the best of both worlds.
God,
and to where she could be dying.
But I want Jaime. There's so many I want, but Jaime would be the coolest because he'd be the queen and Kingslayer.
Right.
I mean,
right?
That's dope.
Well,
both
I think
to Mad Queens and King.
It'd be the coolest for him because he killed the Mad Targaryen king to give rule over to Robert, which led into Cersei getting rule. And then if he kills Cersei to give
it to a
rule
dragon
back to a Targaryen, bro, that's dope.
And you have to give it to a Targaryen.
Yeah, because either Jon or Dany.
Yeah.
Unless somehow Sansa sits on the throne.
And how this is panning out too, I don't know if they're going to do the break the wheel thing or if they're going to go away from that. Like this doesn't. I mean, it's hard to tell in such an action-packed episode of emotional ties. Still from that episode 2 of the reveal of Aegon Targaryen,
right?
But
Aegon?
Yep. Spoiler. Sorry, Aegon, 6th of his name,
and all that,
but to have him, I don't want him to do that cliche where they're fighting each other.
I don't either. Him and Dany,
because this is a recovery episode. This next episode is a recovery episode.
I'm really hoping this battle has put shit in perspective for at least Daenerys, to where she can be like, fuck, we almost died. We cannot be separated right now.
And it also, like, what are they going to do? Like, all their emotions before this battle have to be completely changed after this.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, you can't just be immediately like, oh, we're going back to the main problem at hand. No, we're like, we just fought the Night King and
we have to go back and get the throne now. It's like, no, we got to regroup for a minute.
Yeah. I know they survived that. I know they made it out of there, but their army is decimated. Dothraki, extinct. Unsullied, very small.
Yeah, very
small. They still have
everyone
an
from
army,
that the
but
Starks
against
brought,
the Golden Company,
which is like 30,000 people or some crap.
But at the same time, they still have 2 dragons. And all of the stuff that they used to kill the dragons.
We didn't see John's dragon. It crash landed. We didn't see it.
They landed that
we
one
don't
time.
see it
He got
die,
off.
so I don't think it died.
I don't think it died.
Pretty sure we're going to see it die.
They wouldn't do an off-screen death. Yeah.
So there should be 2 left.
Yep, and then they made an emphasis on when showing that one dragon with holes in its neck. So
yeah, and
that's not the resurrection.
Because
my first thought was like, oh shit, they turned dragon.
No, it was the blue dragon.
Like, oh my god.
It was still the ice dragon. It had holes in its neck, and the fire was shooting out the holes. That was so cool looking. Then the effects for the show have come a long way.
Man, absolutely.
Like, it never were bad.
Dope ass shot of the dragons in the sky, cloud.
That was so cool.
Beautiful cinematography in this, man.
Absolutely.
Music was wonderful. Everything was great.
The score was epic in this. It was a really good episode, man.
I was pleased.
I will say,
Very pleased.
overall with this season, to be the final season of Game of Thrones, one of the greatest TV shows of all time, I'm minorly underwhelmed on the whole.
That's crazy.
I
have 3 straight 9s, man.
I think all 3 episodes have been good. I'd give them all like 8 out of 10. They've all been good episodes, but it's like the last season of Game of Thrones. I'm expecting every episode to be a 9 or a 10 for 6 straight episodes. And it hasn't
Especially
happened.
2. I can't believe that didn't go higher for you. I'm like...
It was good, but...
Such great dialogue. That was like typical Game of Thrones. Like, we need to go back and watch some great episodes because they were just dialogue and interactions.
I love that about this show. I mean,
this is building up to the greatest... Oh,
this 3rd episode didn't disappoint in the battle. The battle was awesome. And I didn't have a problem with it being so dark and stuff. Like, it added to the mood. I liked it.
Yep.
I just felt that literally every shot for the first 20 minutes lingered too long. Like, the shot wasn't pointless, but the shot goes on. It's building suspense. I'm like, oh, man, this is great. And then it gets to that point where it just goes a little too far. I'm like, all right, come on, next one. Like, I get it. I get it.
Just wanting it.
I get
it. Wanting the next thing.
Oh, yeah, true.
And I've seen people complain, like, what's next? Well, the main goal of this show?
John's main goal is done.
John's main goal is done.
He wanted to save the realms and defeat the Night King, and it's over.
But did they save the realms, really?
Well, they saved the realms from the Night King.
They saved
the realms
what he
was concerned with doing.
Exactly. Yeah. But the main goal of this threat before the White Walkers were even talked about was the Iron Throne.
Yeah.
The main premise
but that's
of
never
the show.
been John's main thing. He doesn't care. He just wanted to free the North.
I'm talking about show.
Yeah,
show
the show period is the Iron Throne.
Is the Iron Throne.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. White Walkers just ended up playing sprinkled for a few seasons, then like all of a sudden
like,
they're the main
this
threat.
is a big threat that could end everything.
This could kill everybody.
Yeah. But I mean, it's
that sucks that you're underwhelmed to a degree. I mean, you're liking it, but
it's
sucks.
still.
I mean,
I am a little bit. But I'm still enjoying it.
You're fat and stupid.
I mean, it's very true. There's still the possibility. It's still out there that Cersei keeps the throne. It doesn't lose. What? Just think about this in context of Game of Thrones. And how brutal this show gets, and how it starts to give you what you want, and then takes it away from you, and gives you what you really need.
Cersei would end up on the throne.
This show is brutal. It would make like thematic sense for the show. She has always gotten herself into situations that she can't get out of, and then she somehow gets herself out of them every time, always.
And it's not stupid ways, unfortunately.
No, she's just very calculating.
Yeah.
But she's never been this preemptive before.
True, she is kind of getting.
She's definitely scared.
Well, ever since she's gotten the mountain, her arrogance is through the roof. Her confidence is through the roof.
She saw the Dragon Queen with the dragons. That puts fear in somebody.
Not Cersei.
The last time dragons came around, the Targaryens ruled everything because they took over the 7 realms. They made the 7 kingdoms.
And when it comes to the dragons too, in the spoil of war in the last season, that was basically all their weapons to kill the dragons.
Yeah,
that was their biggest attempt to do that. The Golden Company doesn't
work.
have.
I don't think they have ballista like that.
No, they couldn't even bring elephants. So what makes you think they're going to bring other big ass shit?
They still have 2 dragons that can just like lay fire to shit.
That's what I'm saying.
And there's no Night King out there to throw spears at him.
Yeah, which he missed.
Yeah, he missed it one time.
Did you see how confident the White Walkers were when they walked up to
Dude,
Bran?
They're like the mean girls in school. They're like,
dude, just looking at him like, my man going.
Night King gonna mess you up,
Night
son.
King gonna mess you up.
So arrogant in that moment, dude.
And he was not even that smirking.
No, he was just like
he smirked at Jon when he raised the dead. That son of a bitch.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I wanted that sword fight so bad. I'm cool with Arya though, man. God, she's so gangster,
dude.
So awesome.
Straight
I love her.
Straight up.
Oh, and then we're about to wrap up here real quick in a second. But the red lady coming back, the Fire Queen coming back, Melisandre. Yes. That was dope, dude. When she lit all the swords on fire, it was awesome. When she came around and the Fire God was busy for a few minutes, and she had to keep asking him to light the trench. Like, I guess he's just not there, or just wants to do things when he wants to. Because she had to say it like 20 times.
It's the same. It's for just movies and TV
tension.
stuff. I mean,
it's
tension.
Like,
but you also got to think she already used such an immense power.
True,
anyways,
to light all those swords.
And you got to think for the Lord of the Light to be like, already you need my power again. It's
bro?
been like 15 minutes. Like, come on.
She had a cool send off too. I like that. She came back literally just to make sure the dead were defeated.
Yep.
And then she walked off, took the amulet off, turned old, and died.
Thanos
awesome.
dusted that ass.
Dusted that ass. Also, like,
can we talk about the coolest death real quick before we wrap up?
Who?
Or the coolest kill and something I didn't think they did? Lady Mormont.
Bro, that
kill
was
the kid.
Yeah.
And I think people aren't freaking out because she had a cool kill.
Yeah, because she killed
If
a
she
giant.
just got killed, people would be rioting in the streets.
She killed a giant. The giant crushed her as she was crushing her to death. She stabbed it in the eye.
Stabbed in the eye. Like, whoa.
With dragon glass.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I saw a meme that had a Kirby. You know Kirby, correct? Holding a little knife, said Lady Mormont trying to fight a giant.
So what happens to House Mormont now? Because Lady Mormont's
They're
done
gone.
and Jorah's dead.
It's dead. There's so many families have been killed.
Yeah,
House
dude.
names are gone.
Yeah, they have to be.
So many.
So many of them. It's fucking nuts.
Like this,
dude.
I can't wait to see. If I hope they show the aftermath of the people. They will, obviously, but I want to see like, all right, so we got 100 people, and that's it.
I mean, they still Yara and her small little group of army she has
yes,
are
the
still
Greyjoys
alive.
are,
They can still come help Jon and them.
Oh man,
They didn't come.
that's true.
And they have ships.
That's most of the fleet. Theon's the only one. He only came back with one ship.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So their whole fleet is still there.
So they still have a fleet.
They can still help.
But Euron and Gil's company have a much bigger fleet.
True, but I'm saying like there's still forces.
But once
to help
again,
them.
we have 2 dragons.
Yeah,
So.
we do got that, and we've already seen what they can do to ships.
Yeah. Like I mean,
Massacring.
this is going to be a recovery episode.
Oh, absolutely, dude.
Okay, then we're season 5 or episode 5. I'm thinking we should finally get a little glimpse of Cersei in this, but they might save that for all of 5.
Have we not seen her all this season?
Dude, not the past 2 seasons or 2 episodes. First episode.
Okay, we saw her the first.
Yep,
Yeah,
she was in the first
Dang,
episode.
she really has been gone the past 2 episodes. That's nuts.
2 episodes she was not in it. Yeah.
Freaking Cersei. That's a huge character to not be around.
And she's about to be queen on fucking folk.
Well, I mean, she is queen. She's been queen for a minute.
Yeah, but I don't count that.
I mean, true. She took it by like, not by power, but it's by happenstance.
Yes,
'Cause
just
like,
like,
all her-
hey, this
All
is...
her sons died. There was no one else, and they didn't have any wives.
And that was it.
Yeah. Oh man, it's nuts.
Man.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where the rest of it goes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be so monumentally disappointed if it's not Dany sitting on the throne in the end, or
I'll only be
the
disappointed.
partnership of Dany and Jon, where Jon is king, like he's the one that's taking king, but Dany's his wife or going to be his wife, so she is still queen.
One of them is going to die, dude.
I really do think so.
There's
I think
no
one of
way.
them is a goner and the other one gets the throne.
And
in
I
the
just don't want
context of how
Cersei,
the show
man.
works, it only makes sense for Jon to be the one to give his life to save Dany. So I really think Dany might die because they're going to go against the grain. Unless they're just going full fan service and they're going to give the majority of what I read anyway, the vast majority of this show, a lot of people are Daenerys fans and they want to see her succeed. The books are not the same as the TV shows in the sense that the books are not like just the Dany show. But this show has been, from the first season up until now, like Game of Thrones, Daenerys' quest for the throne. Like, it has been about Daenerys.
See,
She's been the main point.
I don't think so. I don't think she's been the main point. I think John's way more important. He is
He may be
clearly,
way
especially
more
with the reveal of
important, but
Aegon.
he's
He is
not-
like, okay,
but
John's
he's
the
not-
main character.
But he's not the quest for the throne. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been
But that's
Jon's
not him. He's
quest
never
to-
wanted to be Lord Commander. He got Lord
It was been
Commander.
Jon's
Didn't want to be
quest
king.
to
He
stop
got
the
king.
White Walkers.
That's only till season 4. That was his quest.
Yeah, and
It
before that,
wasn't
he had
until
no,
then.
Before that, he had no quest.
I mean, you could
He's just
argue
a
that
bastard
Dany
Jon
didn't
Snow.
even have a quest.
Huh?
She was just being passed around by her brother to be married. She didn't have an idea for the Iron Throne.
Well,
She's
her-
like, I'm just a Targaryen.
Well, no,
and-
her quest in the beginning was just to accompany her brother
Because
for him to
he's
get
the
the
heir.
Iron Throne.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was always her quest,
Until
but it
she-
wasn't her to sit on it.
until Drago gave her like pride and like meaning in her life.
Until she married Drogo and became the Khaleesi, pretty much the queen of all the Dothraki.
Which become worthless after their death.
Yeah. Well, no, wait. Is Khaleesi only what they're called when a Cole dies, or is that what they're called when they're
No, that's
married?
what they're called when
Okay,
they're the
yeah.
main ones. Yeah,
Yeah, okay. That's what
I
thought.
can't remember the term they use.
They have another term.
They
yeah,
have a term for the
for
widows.
like the widows. Yeah. Yeah.
But she put an end to that too.
Yeah. All that's good. Yeah. All
Well,
that's
we're
done
getting
now.
a little off track here, boy.
But anyways, yeah, that's Game of Thrones episode 3, season 7, right, or 8? Sorry, season 8.
Hey, bro, are you even
Season
watching
8.
the same show?
No, I'm not.
God.
Season 8, episode 3, good episode, man. A lot happened.
Episode 4
Really
of
big battle. We still got a lot of big deaths to happen. Still a lot of
I
people
thought
left.
this one was going to take some bigger people.
I did
mean,
too.
we got some decent death, but man,
Ethan Death was here. Yep.
Ethan Death.
Yep. That's
guy.
the Night King's real name.
Thanks.
I love that he died by the tree that started everything. That was really cool. Obviously, it had to be there, but that was cool.
Of course.
That
Of
was
course.
cool. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Josh is fat.
Always.